Beloved, there is something heaven has been trying to show you for so long. And today, I need you to quiet your heart, because what I am about to reveal will awaken something deep in your spirit. For even as you read these words, there's a stirring within you, a sense of familiarity you cannot explain, as though your soul has been waiting for this moment. And Jesus, tell you now that your name, yes, your very name, was carried in a secret prayer from someone you once knew, someone whose presence in your life may have faded like a dream at dawn, yet whose love for you never faded in the spiritual realm. And you must understand that this prayer was not whispered lightly. It was poured out in tears, in trembling words that reached the throne of God and left a fragrance so precious the angels themselves paused to listen. For this person carried you in their heart longer than you realized, and though time and distance, misunderstandings, and endings separated your earthly connection, their spirit has continued to intercede, even now standing in a realm you cannot yet see, whispering your name with a desperation born of pure love, and heaven responded to their plea by assigning angels to your side. Angels who have been guarding you in moments you thought were coincidences, angels who whispered warnings that pulled you back from disasters you never knew were forming. Angels who dried your tears in the midnight hours when you thought no one saw you breaking. And beloved, do you remember those times when you felt an unexplainable warmth wrap around you like an embrace when you were at your lowest? When you felt a heaviness lift suddenly that your circumstances had not changed? That was the echo of their prayer reaching you, the ripple of spiritual warfare being fought and won on your behalf. And I need you to realize that this person's prayer was not about them receiving anything from you. It was about you stepping fully into the destiny God carved out for you. Before you even took your first breath, because they saw something in you that you could not see in yourself, a light, a calling, a fragile yet powerful seed of greatness that even your enemies could sense and try to destroy. And it was their intercession that kept the flame of your purpose alive when all seemed lost. And even now, as you are reading this, the Spirit is bringing flashes of their face, their voice, the moments you shared. And though you may have buried those memories, they are surfacing not to wound you, but to remind you that nothing is ever truly lost in God's economy. And beloved, I want you to know that this prayer has not expired. It is alive. It is breathing in the heavenly realm, still producing protection and provision over your life, still releasing favor in places you have not yet walked into, still opening doors that no man can shut. And though they may not be here in the physical to see what is about to unfold, heaven assures you they will see from above, rejoicing as the seeds they planted in secret blossom into a harvest so magnificent even you will be astonished. For I, the Lord, declare that the season of confusion is ending and clarity is coming. The season of wandering is giving way to purpose. The season of loss will be overshadowed by restoration so abundant it will seem as though the years you mourned were but a moment in eternity. And beloved, when you feel that sudden weight of longing in your chest, that unshakable urge to weep, without knowing why, it is your spirit responding to the resonance of their prayer, a holy confirmation that their words still cover you like a shield. And now I ask you to prepare your heart, because I am about to bring to your remembrance not only who they were, but what they prayed for you to become. For this is the season where what was once whispered in hidden places will be manifested in your visible life. And I tell you solemnly, the same God who heard their cries is the God who will answer them through you. For your breakthrough will not only honor the faith they place in heaven, but also prove to the watching world that I am the God who remembers every intercession, every tear, every unspoken desire offered in love. And as you step forward in obedience, you will see how their secret prayer unlocked chains you didn't even know were binding you. And I say to you, fear not, For I am walking with you into this new chapter where the power of their love and my promises converge. And you will stand in awe as the story I write with your life becomes the testimony that shakes the very gates of hell. And now, beloved, as your heart begins to absorb the truth of what heaven is unfolding before you, I must bring your attention to something even deeper, something most people overlook because they're too busy chasing the noise of the world to recognize the whispers of eternity. What if I told you that the reason certain blessings have followed you, even in seasons where your faith was weak, was not because of your perfection or your persistence, but because someone interceded for you so powerfully that it rerouted the timeline of your pain? And that intercession still echoes in my throne room like a song that never stopped playing, because the prayers spoken in pure love outlast the lives that whispered them. And you, dear one, are walking under the shadow of such a prayer right now. And I need you to understand the weight of this person, whether they've crossed over into heaven or remain quietly watching your journey from afar on earth, saw something in you when you could not see it yourself. They saw the depth of your calling, the quiet fire inside you, the potential that heaven had buried like treasure in a field, waiting to be uncovered. And they knew, yes, they knew, that your journey would be filled with heartbreaks you couldn't explain, setbacks that would feel unfair, betrayals that would leave you breathless. But they did not pray for the pain to disappear. They prayed that you would not quit in the middle of it, that you would hold on, even if by a thread, because they trusted that if you made it to the other side, you would become someone whose light couldn't be dimmed again, someone whose voice would carry authority not born from books, but born from survival, someone who would one day turn around and help pull others out of their own darkness. And that's what you are about to become. No longer the one who breaks, but the one who builds. No longer the one who waits, but the one who walks in what was once only promised. And yes, you've had seasons where you questioned your worth, where you laid in bed asking heaven why the people you loved most didn't stay, why the doors you knocked on stayed shut, why the timing of your dreams felt like a cruel joke. But child, listen, they prayed that even in your questions, your soul would not become bitter, that you would ask and wrestle, but still believe, because belief is the bridge to the miracle you don't even know is forming right now. And I have watched you, Jesus says, I have sat beside you in every room where you felt invisible. I have kept count of every tear you've hidden from the world. And I was moved not by your perfection, but by your vulnerability. And because of the intercession that went ahead of you, I have protected you from things that would have shattered others. I have rerouted your rejection into preparation. I have delayed relationships, promotions, and dreams because I knew what was still being built inside you. And now, the time is near when the person who whispered your name in prayer will see the fruit of that faith. For I am not the God who forgets. I am not the God who lets love be wasted. I am the God who restores, who reveals, who redeems. And beloved, I must tell you, the next door that opens in your life will not be because you knocked the loudest, but because a voice you once forgot about whispered your name in my presence when you had no strength left to pray for yourself. And their words reached me, pierced through time and heaven, and silence and doubt. And they are being answered even now in the most divine and unexpected ways. And you will see this not just in one blessing, but in waves, confirmation after confirmation that you are not forgotten, that you are never alone, that your life has been wrapped in a level of divine orchestration that you could not have earned or manufactured. And all I ask of you now is this: stay soft, stay open, because I'm going to bring this prayer full circle, and you will see the one who interceded, whether in a dream, a divine meeting, or a spiritual visitation. You will know it was them, because heaven always honors those who love in secret. And soon you will understand why certain doors had to stay closed, why certain goodbyes were allowed, and why your name never left the lips of the one who believed in you when you couldn't believe in yourself. For this is the season where the unseen becomes undeniable. And I will take what they whispered in secret and make it manifest in glory. And when you walk into your next room, beloved, know this: you are not walking in alone. You are walking and surrounded by the power of prayer that never stopped speaking your name. And the miracles unfolding are not random. They are rooted in love that was holy, pure, and heard by heaven. And now, child, let me reveal what you could not see in all those sleepless nights when your spirit felt heavy and you wondered if I had forgotten the cries you couldn't put into words. Because what you didn't know was that while your mouth was silent and your faith felt fragile, the words of someone who loved you were still circling my throne, and they did not fade with time or distance or even death. Because true prayer is not bound by years or memory. It lives in the eternal, and their plea for your protection, your restoration, your destiny has kept angels stationed around you in moments you didn't even know danger was near. And yes, there were times when you felt a sudden peace for no reason, or when doors closed just as you were about to walk through them. And you thought it was rejection, but it was divine redirection born from their intercession, because they asked me to keep you from what would destroy you too soon. And I answered even when you weren't aware, and child, you must know the power of such love, that it sees beyond mistakes, beyond silence, beyond seasons of distance and separation. Because even when they could no longer stand beside you physically, their spirit still carried you in prayer. And I honored their faithfulness by keeping your story alive when the enemy wanted to write your ending prematurely. And now I am breathing new life into places you thought were beyond resurrection. I am sending signs so specific that you will have no choice but to. No, heaven has been speaking your name all along. And even now, as you read these words, your spirit recognizes the weight of truth pressing gently against your doubts. For those dreams where you felt like someone was watching, those memories that suddenly return in flashes, as if someone else is trying to remind you of who you are. This is not your imagination. It is me answering their plea, calling you back to yourself. And child, there are people in your life right now who don't understand how. You've survived what you have, but if they could see the tears that were shed on your behalf, the late-night whispers of your name that reached heaven when you were too broken to lift your own voice, they would realize it's not luck that carried you here. It's legacy, it's love that refused to let you go. And now I am about to honor that love in public ways that will silence every mocking spirit that thought you were finished. I am about to unfold blessings that won't just restore what was lost, but multiply it, because the one who prayed for you asked, not just for your survival, but for your thriving, for a future so filled with light that even the shadows from your past will have to bow to it. And beloved, you have wondered why certain relationships ended abruptly, why certain doors stayed locked despite your efforts. But it was because I was listening to the one who asked me to remove everything not aligned with your calling. And though it felt like loss, it was actually protection, dressed as disappointment. And I need you to know this, because soon the person you least expect will speak words to you that sound eerily familiar. They will echo prayers you never heard, and your spirit will know instantly that heaven arranged the meeting, that this is not coincidence, but orchestration, because I do not waste prayers, I do not forget tears, and I do not abandon promises made in my presence. And child, I am bringing your life into alignment with what they saw for you, with the vision they carried when they asked me to keep you safe. And you will see this not only in your relationships, but in your health, your finances, your purpose, because I am moving on every level to answer what was once whispered in faith. And you, dear one, will become the living proof that no prayer spoken in love ever dies. It only multiplies in impact as it rises before me. And you will realize that the delays, the detours, the heartbreaks, they were not punishment but preparation. because you are not only the answer to their prayer, you're also becoming someone else's intercessor, someone whose testimony will spark faith in those still wandering. And heaven is waiting to unveil the full circle of this story, where the one who prayed and the one who received meet again in the place of fulfillment. And you will recognize each other not by sight, but by the resonance in your souls. Because my spirit will confirm it to you in that moment, and you will finally understand why I kept certain memories alive in your heart, why some names never left your thoughts, why even now tears are welling in your eyes as your spirit begins to comprehend that you have never been as alone as you felt. And this is only the beginning of what I am about to show you. For the prayers of the righteous are powerful and effective. And you are standing in a harvest you didn't even sow, because someone else labored in prayer for seeds they knew you would one day need to reap in order to fulfill your purpose. And now, beloved, as you stand on the edge of this revelation, I need you to understand that what is coming next in your life is not merely a result of your own prayers or your own faith, but the compounded intercession of those who saw in you a light worth fighting for, even when you yourself could not see it. And I, the Lord who sees all, have kept every tear, every whispered plea, every desperate cry from that person who once carried your name so tenderly before me. And though they may no longer walk the earth in flesh, their prayers live on, woven into the tapestry of your destiny, echoing in the chambers of heaven as a sound that refuses to fade until it has been answered in full. And child, do you not know that the reason certain dangers never reached you, the reason certain plans of the enemy were thwarted before they could manifest, was because of that secret prayer they spoke when you were too young, too weary, or too unaware to fight for yourself? For in the quiet of their own battles they still made room for you. And I honor them by assigning angels to your path, angels who have intervened silently and powerfully at crossroads where your life could have ended or been destroyed. And now, as I lift the veil from your eyes, I will allow you to see just how far their love extended, how it reached across time and space, and even the chasm of death to ensure your steps would not falter beyond repair. And this is why, beloved, you are entering a season of acceleration where the very things you thought you lost forever will begin to chase you down. Blessings that seemed delayed will arrive in multiplied form. Relationships that align with your true purpose will suddenly appear, and opportunities that once felt out of reach will unfold effortlessly. Not because of your striving, but because I am honoring a covenant of love that was sealed in prayer long before this moment. And there will be nights when you feel the warmth of their presence, a familiar peace that washes over you like a soft embrace, and it will be them. This is not imagination. It is the lingering impact of a spirit that loved you enough to ask heaven's armies to guard you until you were ready to walk fully in your calling. And child, you may not have understood why you survived what others didn't, why your story refused to end at the chapters of heartbreak, betrayal, or loss. But I'm telling you now, it is because someone dared to believe for you when you could not. And they spoke words over your life that bound my promises to your timeline in a way that cannot be undone. And I say to you now, prepare your heart, because I am about to lead you into rooms you didn't apply for, open doors you didn't knock on, and place you on stages you didn't build. And people will ask how it happened, and you'll have to tell them that it was grace, pure grace multiplied through prayer. And you will understand that favor is not earned. It is inherited through the spiritual legacy left by those who prayed, wept, and warred for you in the spirit. And even now they are rejoicing because they see what is coming before you do, and they know the breakthrough I am about to release will redeem every moment you thought was wasted, every year you called lost, For I am the restorer of time and the keeper of promises, and I tell you that not a single word spoken in love over your life has returned void. It has been stored up, gaining weight and momentum in the heavenly realms until this appointed time when it will pour out over you in a flood so overwhelming that even your enemies will have to confess that the hand of God is upon you. And child, the very ones who doubted you, dismissed you, or deserted you will watch as I set a table before you in their presence and crown you with honor, because you carry not only your own testimony, but the answered prayers of someone who believed in your future. And you must know that every divine encounter coming to you in this next season is orchestrated in response to those prayers. And yes, you will recognize them. You will know it when strangers speak words that sound like echoes of their voice, when doors open at the exact moment you were about to give up, when dreams begin to replay moments you never told anyone about, but which they had seen and lifted to me in secret. And beloved, I am telling you now, so that when it happens you will not call it coincidence, but confirmation. For this is the hour when I turn mourning into dancing and ashes into beauty. And a life you're stepping into will not only bless you, but ripple outward to bless generations. Because I am redeeming the prayers of the past by birthing miracles in your present and your future. And you, child, are the living answer they dared to believe for even when they didn't live to see it with earthly eyes. But know this, they see it now. They are watching and cheering from the great cloud of witnesses. And their joy is complete because you are rising, you are healing, you are becoming all that I created you to be, and nothing, not loss, not betrayal, not even death, can stop the destiny sealed over your life by their love and my eternal promise.